Hey, my friends, this is the Art of Prepping. Thanks for joining me today. If you had to leave the home, do you have your supplies at the ready? Do you have things in a backpack or a piece of luggage? It could be in a tote, it could be in a duffel bag, whatever it is that would work best for you. But do you have the stuff in it and are you ready to go? Have you timed yourself to see how long it would take to put these items in these containers into your vehicle? Some of us have different layouts in our property. Sometimes where we park our vehicles is not very convenient or even close to where we live. So, for example, maybe our garage is not connected to our home. I know some people's garages are many hundreds of yards from their home. And in particular, if there's like bad weather outside, like maybe a snowstorm or sleet, hail, or rain or electrical storm, it's going to be that much more difficult to transfer your items into your vehicle. So, in some cases, if you have a garage that is not connected to your home and it's further away from your home, you may want to consider to keep some of your supplies in that particular building. But if not, at least practice and to figure out how much time you need to put your emergency preparedness supplies in your vehicle if you have to leave. You'd be surprised. A lot of people would say, oh, I only need about 5 to 10 minutes and I should be good to go. But that's for people who actually have bag systems or kit systems put together. There's also another group of people that have some things put together, some kits, but then they have other supplies that are kind of strung around the home. So they would have to go around and collect those. And so that would probably add another 5, 10, or even 20 minutes, depending on if you have kids or not, if you have health problems. I mean, there's a whole list of possible challenges that could increase the time frame that you would need to get yourself together. And then there's that last category of people who have no kits whatsoever, and everything that they would really need and want is completely just jumbled in their home. And that's why I think this video is really, really important for those kind of people. That if you have no organization and if you have no plan, to at least consider one at this particular time. We're coming into winter. It's very plausible that power could go out. It's very plausible that your home could have issues because of snow and ice. I remember last year, I knew people that their roof caved in because of the extra weight from all the snow and ice. And if you live a lot more south, you may not have these issues, but it's still good a few times a year to figure out what is your time that you're running currently. Is it 5 minutes and you have your car packed and you're on your way? Or is it a half an hour to an hour to find everything you really need and want and to put it in your vehicle? So I would probably practice this, in ideal conditions and in conditions that are not ideal. So maybe do it once on a sunny day during the middle of the day, and then maybe try do it in the middle of the night, in the middle of a rainstorm. And you're going to probably see that you're going to be slowed down, and you're going to probably want to cover your systems and bags to keep them from getting wet, or maybe you'll have to put on a headlamp, or at least try to find your headlamp to light your way, possibly. You may even have to clean out part of your car so you can make room for your preparedness gear. But whatever it is, you're going to have to figure out how that works. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this, about what kind of time frame is respectable, and what is kind of like something that's reasonable to shoot for. Once again, depends on the layout of your house and your garage or your property in general. I don't really know what is really reasonable. For me, though, what I would consider reasonable is between 5 and 10 minutes. Of course, if there was a really serious emergency that requires you to leave like as soon as possible, in the real sense of the words, I could probably be out in just a matter of 1 or 2 minutes because I have all my systems put together. And so it's a matter of just grabbing and going. So I would say 1 to 2 minutes if I just had to do it, but I'd really prefer at least 5 to 10 minutes to be more comprehensive, to kind of collect myself and to go through my checklist just to make sure that I'm actually being very, you know, concise and efficient in my behaviors and activities when I'm trying to get away from the threat. So that's just kind of the breakdown here of this. So just to see how long it takes, and maybe over time you can work on reducing that time to a time that maybe agrees with you a little bit more. For those who live near a nuclear power plant, I would certainly do this maybe even more than a few times a year, maybe like every 2 months or every 3 months. Do this as a drill. And just, especially if you have kids, I would involve them as well and a spouse as well. And just kind of do this as a drill that, and take your stopwatch, it could be on your phone or whatnot, and just time it and see if you can't better that the next time. Because, this is something that could really be life-saving, especially once again, if you live near a power plant that could go, could go critical. And if you have to get out because you're going to have radiation exposure in about a minute or two, you're going to really have to prioritize what you put in there or what you grab to go in your vehicle, because you're going to be leaving in 2 minutes, possibly. It's just a matter of how much can you get in there in 2 minutes. So involve your family with this. Make it fun, though, for the kids so they don't get stressed out. And just tell them, though, that, you're doing this for the safety and the well-being of everyone. And make it also an open-ended discussion after everything is done to get input on what everybody, feels and thinks about the process that's in place. They might be surprised. Some people may have different ideas that may lend to a more efficient way of doing things. So, hey, thanks for coming by. If you have any thoughts about this, feel free to leave it in the comment section. As always, thanks for your support. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. If you want to support the channel, there's links to Amazon that help support the channel. As always, if you have any thoughts for future videos, also leave those in the description box. You guys take care.